Okay, good morning again, everyone. This is Nick Petro with the National Weather Service in Raleigh with your weekly impact weather briefing for Central North Carolina. And this briefing covers the period today through the 11th of June through Sunday. And jumping right into the weather briefing here. First, we're going to begin with the weather pattern to kind of set the stage for what we expect to happen. And what's driving today's risk for showers and thunderstorms is a frontal system. Now, there's a lot of moisture across the area, but we're watching a cold front move across the Ohio Valley, and we're looking forward to that front moving through, because until that front moves through, we're going to be on the warm side of things. And when we're on the warm side of things in June and during the summer, then certainly that always adds to the risk for storms to become severe and with heavy downpours and that sort of thing. So anyway, that's the early week period today through early tomorrow. Once we get that front push through here, then we're going to be on the cooler side of things. So that should, when we're on the back side of the front and the cooler side of things, that limits the risk for severe thunderstorms, even if we do get some rain. So that'll be the midweek period. Look for that front to be pushing off the coast during the day tomorrow, and then the rain chance will shift eastward with it as well. So I think the best chance for rain during the midweek period will be east of I-95. Now, once we get that front even further off the coast, that'll allow high pressure that's currently up over the western Great Lakes to build southeast and across our area for the late week period. So look for the late week period to feature really dry weather, and also point out on the back side of that front, on the cooler side of the front, we'll see temperatures a little bit more refreshing. Certainly not as warm as it otherwise could be. And then, but look for the temperatures to warm back up late in the weekend as that high pushes to the east and we get back into the warm southerly flow. So anyway, that's the way the pattern's shaping up. With this type of pattern, the day this week with the greatest risk for severe weather, of course, will be today until we push that front through late tonight and tomorrow. So anyway, speaking of the risk for severe weather, here's the severe thunderstorm potential from the Storm Prediction Center, courtesy of www.spc.noaa.gov if you want to take a look at these yourself. So anyway, today you can see we're highlighted with marginal risk for severe weather, and what that means is not widespread severe, but if there's some severe storms around, they'll be pretty isolated and limited in duration or coverage. That's what marginal means, that second shade of green. So on Tuesday, you'll notice we're in that light shade of green, which means no severe storms are expected. That's because that front will be pushing to our south and we'll be getting on the cooler side of things. And then come Wednesday, no risk for even thunderstorms because that front will again be pushing further to the south and east. So today will be the day of the highest. Today's the day of the week. If we do have any severe weather, this would be the day. So speaking of that severe weather, I threw this in here to give you a sense of what the radar may look like, to give you a sense of timing, not intensity. So, and I'll tell you what, the models really struggle with simulating thunderstorms and convective type activity during the summertime. These things work great in the cool season, but in the warm season, one small error in any one of these depictions of where these storms would be and it throws the whole thing off. So I would say if you like to use these radar simulations during the summertime, use them with caution, because they're highly subject to error because of the air mass and outflow boundaries and that sort of thing. And I even hesitate even showing them, quite frankly, but I'll show them anyway because I think this could give a general sense of when we expect things to happen. But the bottom line is in the first screen in the upper left is the live radar. Basically I captured this from live radar just a few minutes ago. And as you'll see, the activity there between the triangle and triad, that shower activity, I'm not seeing any lightning in that just yet. But anyway, that's expected to move off to the east and maybe crossing the triangle region between 1 and 3 p.m. But we're going to be focusing a little bit further north as that front pushes ever so slowly south. We might see a little bit better organized line of showers and thunderstorms develop to our north and west of the triangle region and begin to move across central North Carolina, basically from late afternoon across the Triad region through the rest of central North Carolina during the evening. So it's with that activity that we could see an isolated strong to severe storm. With the primary threat being a damaging wind gusts. Also, because these are slow moving and because the atmosphere is so moist, we'll also have to be on the watch for minor flooding of streets, creeks, and poor drainage areas, for areas that get repetitively hit. So, so I'll point that out as well. It looks like that semi-organized line, if you will begin to move to our east of I-95 and south of Fayetteville during the overnight hours. So anyway, watch out for a few very isolated showers and thunderstorms, that is, during the early to mid-afternoon with a few lightning strikes. Looks like the better chance for storms will be during the late afternoon and evening hours, and again, a few of those storms isolated could be severe. So that's the way the radar simulations and perhaps what we expect may develop may take place this afternoon into this evening. But again, we have to use these radar simulations with a great deal of caution during the warm season. All right, so moving on. How about how much rain? So we're looking at maybe an inch to 2 inches of rain in some of those repetitively hit spots today. And then it looks like the heavier rain moves to our south and east for Tuesday and Wednesday. We're dry for Thursday and Friday. There is a weak, perhaps a weak front, but a weak disturbance moving through on Saturday. If we do get any rain, I'll highlight the word if we get any rain, it'll be pretty light, maybe a tenth of an inch. Doesn't look like a big rainmaker. Actually, most of the weekend should be dry. So anyway, tropics look quiet right now. Nothing for the next 5 days in the tropics. And then as we look further ahead into next week, the odds favor above normal temperatures. So enjoy the cooler temperatures we're going to see here tomorrow through the middle of this week, because warm temperatures are set to return next week. So anyway, that's the takeaway for looking ahead to next week. Let's wrap this up here for the week, and we're looking at isolated severe storms possible this afternoon and evening. A few of the thunderstorms could become severe. The primary threat is damaging wind gusts, although we'll have to keep an eye out for minor flooding of streets, creeks, and poor drainage areas, especially locations that are repetitively affected by showers and thunderstorms. And then as we head through the middle of the week, look for temperatures to be comfortable, upper 70s, lower 80s, and clearing out for the latter half of the week. Thursday and Friday should be pretty much dry for the most part. It could be an isolated shower, thunderstorm on Saturday, but again, if we do get anything, it'll be very isolated and not a whole lot of rain. So warming back up, late in the weekend and into next week. So that's the way things are shaping up. Of these 7 days, 6 days, the day with the greatest risk for impactful weather will be this afternoon and this evening. So anyway, that is the weekly briefing.